All right, I want to do a video today on, it's going to be specific to wrestling, but I'm going to do a video. Sometimes it's easier to talk about things than it is to write about, so I'm going to do a video, and I left my computer at home. So, one of the problems I see with, like, wrestling season just started this weekend. A lot of our guys did awesome. I think we had, like, 5 tournament winners, a couple twos, a couple threes, a whole bunch of, like, fours and fives places. So our guys all did great. I'm really proud of all of them. But I see a lot of wrestlers. I mean, see a lot of the same kids every year. Kids that I train, and I see a lot of kids I don't train. I don't know who they are, but I see them wrestling every year, and I see this problem with off-season training and a lot of wrestlers and coaches, even like a lot of strength coaches and trainers. They think that the wrestlers just need constant conditioning. Conditioning is a huge factor in wrestling, but it's I think it's put too much emphasis put on conditioning a lot of times and not enough on actual maximal strength. And hear me out. This is what I want to say. Like, yeah, you have to be in shape, but a lot of times that fitness level comes with being strong. So, in other words, a lot of guys they totally neglect the strength part, and I see this a lot with like the lower weight classes. 120, 130, 38, 40 some pounds. These guys do absurd amounts of conditioning, and they're wrestling all the time now. So a lot of the good wrestlers, they wrestle year round, and then they go to a training facility or they go to their high school weight rooms and they just do more conditioning. They're doing ropes or jumping rope, you know, hours upon hours of push-ups and pull-ups and things like that, which is all good stuff. But the problem is they're paying no attention to their maximal strength level. So I have a good example here. We had a kid. He was pretty good last year. He didn't make states, but he made it to regions. This year, he won a tournament for the first time in high school, and he did really well. And he stayed at the same weight, but his this off season, he got strong. I mean, he's getting older. He's put some work in, so his deadlift maybe went from like 315 to 440, 425. I don't know what it was. It was probably in the ballpark of 100 pounds improvement on his deadlift, which is great. This weekend, his mom was like, "Hey, he's strong and he's so much more fit. He has so much more cardio and stamina." And it's not because we did a lot of conditioning. So my philosophy here is we don't take the kids. I used to when I first got into the business. I used to condition the guys a lot, especially the wrestlers, and we don't really do it anymore. We do once a week. We do our wrestling session, and what we do with that session is we do the first 10 minutes. We do conditioning, something really hard. Then we come in and we do our explosive or our speed strength training, which is going to be quickly through. It's maybe 30 seconds rest, sets of 3 or 4 reps only. We move the bar really fast. And we do all that stuff after they've done conditioning. We do jumps and stuff like that. After they've done some conditioning and fatigued themselves slightly. So we do that once a week. That's only 1 out of 3 or 4 workouts a week. The other workouts were straight strength training, and we're not really worrying too much about conditioning. So what happens is this kid's maximal strength level goes up. So now it's much easier. He can move his body weight and control that 160 pound body weight is now much less of a percentage of his maximum strength potential. And he's now moving more effectively. He's more efficient. He's harder to wrestle, which tires his opponent out more. And now he looks as though he's in better shape, cardiovascular shape, even though we really didn't do much cardiovascular training. So I see this a lot, especially with the lower weight classes. The guys, they just want to do tons of conditioning. Because they don't know strength. They don't know what it's like to be strong, or they don't want to gain weight. So they don't know really how to train properly to not gain weight. And it's really a shame because I see some of these same kids every year, year in, year out, and they're the same weight class. They didn't get any stronger. They worked conditioning all off season. They might be getting better technically, but their technical skills are going to hit a ceiling without adding, some horsepower to the engine, so to speak. So, if you're a wrestler and you want to be more fit and you want to be stronger, you need the strength training, do maximal strength training, and that's gonna make you seem like you're more conditioned, and it's gonna make you stronger and harder to wrestle. So don't fall into that trap of just always doing conditioning. Especially nowadays, a lot of these kids that wrestle, a lot of our athletes that wrestle, all they do is wrestle. Some of them, a couple of them play football, but a lot of them, all they do is wrestle. They're wrestling year round. If they're wrestling 3-4 days a week or more and going to tournaments year round, they're not out of shape. Excuse me. As soon as they get into their practice, the first couple of weeks, their coaches slam them with conditioning. The last thing they need is more conditioning. They need to take their bodies and just get them stronger. Find their weaknesses, bring them up. So what we do is when we train these guys, we find their weakness, we bring them up. We find their weakness, we build it up until it becomes a strength, and we find their next weakness, build that up until it becomes a strength, so on and so forth, and we're constantly climbing that ladder of improved athleticism. That's all I wanted to say. It's a shame. I see some of these kids, they're really good skilled wise, and they just don't have the strength to execute, and they waste time with conditioning, and they still get tired. So